Today, let's make a simple but a fabulous dal. It's called Dal Palak or Palak Dal. Let's begin. Before we begin making the Dal Palak, let's do some cutting and chopping. For that, we begin with some onions. Let's chop this roughly. Along with this, some green chilies. Well, you can choose to increase or reduce the spice quotient. That's a complete personal choice. With this, some ginger. Well, I'm deliberately not using garlic in this recipe because spinach and ginger is also quite a classic combination, just like garlic and spinach. Let's chop this up finely. Well, you could also choose to add in some garlic or a combination of ginger and garlic, but I prefer ginger for this recipe. Let's heat a deep pan and add in some ghee. Allow this to heat on high flame, and in the interim, let's chop a tomato. Once the ghee begins to heat, let's add in cumin seeds. Once these begin to splutter, some asafoetida or hing, and immediately let's slide in the onions, chilies, and ginger. Saute this on high flame till the onions kind of turn translucent and the raw flavor of ginger goes away. Time to add in the powder spices. Let's first begin with red chili powder, followed by turmeric powder or haldi, and for flavor, I'm adding in roasted coriander seeds powder. Give that a good mix, rather a quick one. Time to add in the boiled lentils or the dal. Give this a stir and add in the tomatoes followed by salt. Time to start shredding some fresh leaves of spinach. Well, especially in a dal like this, ensure that the salt is in check. If you've added salt already while cooking the lentils, ensure that the salt is absolutely in check because spinach is also a vegetable that contains some salt. While the dal is getting cooked, let's add in the shredded spinach. At this point in time, it looks like a lot of spinach, but trust me, a dal palak would taste nice when of course there's lots of spinach. Also, it's going to shrink and then you get the most perfect dal palak. After boiling this on high flame for roughly a minute, the palak dal is done and ready. Let's transfer this in a bowl. And this goes amazingly well with a bowl of steamed rice. Well, palak is in season and it's of course winters here in India. So try this, make this for your family and friends and serve this, like I said, with a bowl of hot steamed rice. In today's hectic times, it's important to nourish your body with the right food. Here is a recipe of Palak Paneer which has all of it. Hey guys, this is a Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar and welcome to Rajshri Food. Let's get cracking with Palak Paneer from Indian Home Kitchens. The base of Palak Paneer recipe is a puree of palak or spinach, So let's make that first. I've kept some water to boil, to which I'm adding some table salt. And to this, I'll be adding in washed palak leaves. Spinach is an amazing source of fiber and protein. We need to get the color right of this recipe, and that's immensely important. This step is technically called blanching and improves the final look and color of the recipe. As soon as the leaves of spinach are blanched, we need to transfer this into chilled water. This will stop and arrest the cooking further. The palak leaves have cooled off completely. We need to drain these now and grind it into a fine puree. To this, I'll be adding in some water, and that would assist in grinding this finer. Our blanched palak puree is ready. Let's now move on to the tadka. For this, I'm heating a pan, and to this, I'll be adding in some ghee. Well, you could also use a mixture of butter and ghee, but I personally love the flavor of ghee. While this is heating up, let's quickly chop some red onions. The onions are cut and ready. The ghee has also heated up. The first thing that goes in this are some cumin seeds. Once these crackle, I'll add in dried red chilies. Well, I prefer using red chilies for its nice flavor. Alternately, you could also use slit green chilies. Once these get lightly toasted, I'll add in chopped garlic, and this time, lots of it. Once this turns a little nutty and golden brown, I'll add in the chopped onions. To this, I'll be adding in some salt so that the onions cook faster. Spinach are green leafy vegetables which are naturally salted in flavor. So make sure the quantity of salt is absolutely in check. Once the onions turn lightly golden brown in color, I'll add in turmeric powder. And along with this, chopped tomatoes. Let's give this a mix. Time to add in powdered garam masala. We need to stir fry this mixture on high flame for 2 to 3 minutes. If you've noticed, I've deliberately not added red chili powder because I do not want the color of the palak paneer to change. Once this mixture is nicely cooked, I'll add in the palak puree. Give this a mix. And we need to adjust the consistency with some water. Allow this to boil on high flame for 3 to 4 minutes. At this stage, you can also add in some cream or some butter if you need to make this richer, but I personally prefer it like so. While this is cooking, let's dice paneer or cottage cheese. I'll transfer the pieces of paneer in the bubbling gravy. Alternately, you could also deep fry the paneer pieces and add to the gravy. With this, your palak paneer is ready. Do try this with some roti, naan or fulkas and wait for what next the Bombay chef gets into your kitchen.
I love spinach. Be it palak paneer or paratha, you can do so much with this superfood. So today I've got for you a recipe that is nutritious and warming at the same time without burning a hole in your pocket. I've brought for you my version of Lasooni corn palak. So I've taken 2 bunches of spinach and what I did was boil them in hot water for about 3 to 4 minutes and then drain the hot water and immediately put some ice cold water over it so that it helps in retaining the color and stops to cook. And now I am going to grind this bland spinach. Just add it in the blender and grind it into a smooth puree. This is done. One of the smartest choices that you can make is going for a seasonal vegetable like spinach. It's good for your body and good for your pocket. I'm going to start with heating some ghee. Turn on the flame. Just a teaspoon of ghee. Next, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Next, I'm going to add in an onion paste. So what I did was took 1 onion, 5 green chilies and 1 big piece of ginger, and all I did was grind it together. So after the cumin seeds start spluttering, I'm going to add in this paste. Saute the paste nicely, at least for a good 3 to 4 minutes. The onion paste is nicely dried out, and now I'm just going to move it to the side, and now into this I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of gram flour. Just slightly roast it in the pan. After you've roasted it for a few seconds, mix it with the onions. This basically helps in giving a good consistency to the gravy. And now into this I'm going to add 1 tomato finely chopped. Cook the tomatoes till they are nice and soft. Tomatoes are done, and now into this I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of curd. Turn the flame to high and keep stirring while you're cooking the curd. The curd is cooked, and now into this I'm going to add half a teaspoon of garam masala. Give it a good mix. Next goes in the spinach puree. So I got a few bunches of spinach from the farmer's market the other day, and I got a very good bargain. So money saved is money earned. Mix in the puree. It's a beautiful green color, and that's thanks to the ice. I'm going to add in a little bit of water for the gravy. The gravy is ready, and now we need to add some boiled corn. So during the rainy season, when corn was available in plenty, I stored them in zipper storage bags in the freezer, and guess what? I didn't have to run out to get these. At the end of the episode, I have a question for you, and the best answer is going to get a shout out. So keep watching. Now goes in the salt, and whenever you're adding salt in a spinach gravy, make sure you add a little less. This is done, and now I'm going to empty it in a bowl. And the last part of the recipe to give that Lasooni flavor is to make the tadka. So in this pan, I'm going to heat 1 teaspoon of ghee. Next, tear in 1 dry chili. Just get rid of the seeds. Add in the chilies. And also I have 8 cloves of garlic that are finely sliced. Let this cook on low heat and make sure that the garlic catches color. The garlic has changed color and now time to pour the tarka over the spinach gravy. Our beautiful main course recipe is ready in a jiffy. Cook smart, cook delicious. See you soon. Bye-bye. For those who like their sabji to be a little on the sweeter side, Malai Kofta curry is the perfect option. A delicious recipe with mild flavors. The kofta curry that I'm going to make today is my version of this popular recipe. So let's see how. I'm going to start with making the kofta. I have some finely chopped spinach and I'm just going to dry roast it in a pan. No oil or anything needed. And also I have some finely chopped cabbage and add that as well. I'm just doing this because I want to get rid of the moisture from the cabbage and the spinach. And now I'm going to cool it down. Next, I'm going to soak the bread in milk. So I have 2 slices of bread. Brown is fine too. Just a few tablespoons of milk, not too much. I just want to soften the bread a little bit. And now I'm going to add the remaining ingredients. So finely chopped green chilies, a little bit of coriander leaves, a few tablespoons of corn flour. I have some grated paneer, a few tablespoons of grated cheese, and now I'm going to use this bread. Just get rid of the crust. Just break it into pieces. The other one as well. A little bit of salt. And now mix everything together. Instead of spinach leaves, you can even use fenugreek leaves if you like that hint of bitterness with the sweet gravy. And now I'm going to make round koftas. For that, I'm going to dust a little bit of corn flour on my hands and make these round dumplings. And now I'm going to fry these dumplings till I get a nice brown color. So I have some hot oil. Just add your koftas. And now I'm going to get these out. The koftas are ready. And now I'm going to make the curry. For that, I'm going to heat a little bit of ghee. Once the ghee is nice and hot, I'm going to add a whole dry Kashmiri red chili, some cumin seeds, a saffetida, and I have onion and garlic paste over here. Cook the onions till they're nice and brown. And now I'm going to add a little bit of curd. Just a little bit. Some cashew nut paste. For this, I've just soaked a little bit of cashew nuts in water and then ground it into a paste. And now I'm going to add the tomato puree. Just boil the tomatoes, blend them and strain them. And now I'm going to add the seasoning ingredients. Coriander and cumin seed powder. Kashmiri red chili powder. It gives a nice red color and also is much milder. Just a little bit of garam masala. Salt to taste. And a little bit of sugar. Let the tomato puree simmer at least for 8 to 10 minutes. You can see quite a bit of the moisture from the tomato puree is dried out. So I'm going to add some water now. Mix it well. And at the end, add some cream or even homemade malai is fine. A little bit of coriander leaves and turn off the flame. And the kofta curry is ready to plate. In your serving dish, plate the koftas. Keep the curries and the koftas separately till you're ready to serve. Pour the curry. Garnish it with a little bit of cream. A little bit of coriander leaves. And this is ready. Serve Malai Koftas with hot naans or rotis. So, what are you waiting for? Like, make and dig. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Hello, you beautiful people. That was just a crazy visual effect. I'm going to show you food which is going to be delicious, comforting, and super tasty. The winter special recipe that I'm going to show you today is Palak Dal Khichdi. And trust me, I'm going to make it very, very, very simple for you, cooked under pressure using a pressure cooker. The first step is to heat the pan, the pressure pan or the cooker, whatever you're using, and add in a tablespoonful of desi ghee. And once that begins to heat, we'll add in mustard seeds and allow these to splutter before we add in cumin seeds. Along with this, dried red chilies. If you're a fan of green chilies, by all means, please add that. And along with this, red onions, finely chopped. Let's stir this and cook this till the onions turn golden brown in color. Well, almost there, borderline. In the show Game of Thrones, we've seen some extreme weather conditions. And extreme weather conditions actually lead to storage. Well, we also in our country do a lot of storage, especially when it comes to our winter produce. Winter produce like fenugreek leaves, mutton or green peas, or even something like spinach. Personally, I pick the spinach, I wash it well, I chop it nicely, puree it, blanch it, and then this goes straight in the freezer. Well, this is frozen spinach. If you haven't watched Game of Thrones, watch it right away. After spinach, I'm also adding in paste of ginger and garlic and mixing this till the raw flavor of ginger and garlic goes away. It's been a minute on medium flame. Let's add in powder spices. In this case, I personally love the combination of spinach and coriander powder. So coriander seeds powder, and along with this, just a touch of red chili powder. Remember, do not overdo this because the color of the khichdi will change drastically. So just a touch of it. Along with this, roughly cut tomatoes and rice along with pigeon lentils. Now this is basically 1 cup of rice, half a cup of pigeon lentils or tur dal, which is washed and soaked for at least 2 hours. Throw away the water in which it has been soaking. The next to this is of course water. Now, you need to follow a basic ratio for something like this. 1 cup of rice, half a cup of tur dal and 3 cups of water. Remember that. Finally to this, half teaspoon of salt, which of course can be adjusted later and depends completely on your and your family preference. One final mix. And with this, your Palak Dal Khichdi is ready to cook under pressure. Let's cover the lid of the pressure cooker. Increase the flame to medium high and allow this to cook under 3 whistles or for 20 minutes. Now, in words of Lord Peter Baelish, knowledge is power, and that brings us to the next segment. Let's move in. Let me first tell you how to buy spinach this winter. Spinach has to look dark green in color. The leaves have to look crisp, not yellow, not wilted. Also, they all have to look visually appealing. Spinach is also considered to be a superfood. Why is that so? It's loaded with vitamins, manganese, magnesium, iron, and so much more. If Popeye can get his strength from it, so can you and I. Let's head back to the kitchen. It's been 3 whistles. With this, off goes the flame and allow this to settle down for at least 10 minutes. And after that, we plate the Palak Dal Khichdi. The pressure has subsided. Time to unveil the Palak Dal Khichdi. One quick stir before this finally goes into the serving bowl. Game of Thrones as a series is not only about happy moments. There have been several sad moments. Well, one of those sad moments that I thought was really heart-wrenching was the part where Ned Stark was actually no more. It was like a bolt, like a shock. In the comment section, actually, you let me know which has been your favorite character and that one sad moment where you felt that character was really needed. Let's add in a dollop of ghee. And with this, the Palak Dal Khichdi straight goes on the dinner table. Do try this winter because winter is coming. We all have had this crazy battle with the pandemic, and this actually calls for boosting your immune system with foods that are healthy and tasty at that. So do try this. I can vlog like Brandon Stark, come to your balconies and check if you're actually making the Palak Dal Khichdi or not. Well, jokes apart, if you've liked the video, do not forget to like it and stay tuned to Rajshri Food. Stay tuned.
Parathas are hot favorites amongst the lovers of Indian cuisine. We Indians can go on and on about the types of parathas. And I'm making one such today, which is Palak Paratha. I'm going to start with sauteing a few ingredients. For that, I'm going to heat 1 tablespoon of oil. Once the oil is hot, I'm going to add 1 finely chopped onion. Next, I'm going to add finely chopped tomatoes. I've de-seeded them and also squeezed out a little bit of water. Cook the tomatoes till they are nice and soft. I'm also going to add all the seasoning ingredients: red chili powder, garam masala, chaat masala, and finely chopped green chilies. I'm also going to add a little bit of salt so that the tomatoes cook quicker. The tomatoes are nice and soft, and now to the main ingredient. I have some finely chopped spinach over here. Give this a stir. Cook the spinach till it's nice and soft and make sure you dry out any kind of water that it oozes out. The spinach is cooked. Turn off the flame, and I'm going to immediately remove it in a bowl to cool it down. The spinach mixture has completely cooled down, and now I'm going to prepare to make the dough. In the bowl, I'm going to add 1 cup of wheat flour, just 2 big pinches of salt, just for the wheat flour, and 1 teaspoon of oil. Mix all these ingredients together. Add very little water at a time. You might not need too much. Knead the dough for at least 2 to 3 minutes, and it has to be a nice soft dough. This dough is ready. and let this rest for not more than 5 minutes. 5 minutes are up, and now I'm going to dust my hands with some dry wheat flour. Just apply a little bit onto your palms. And now I'm going to start making flat rounds of the dough. Dust a little bit of wheat flour onto the board. Let's start rolling them. Start rolling it into a small round roti. Next, I'm going to apply a little bit of oil and dust some more wheat flour onto it. Fold this into half and another half to make a triangle. And start rolling this triangle. This is the thickness of the paratha I need. Dust off all the excess flour and now onto a hot pan. Medium flame. Cook the paratha on either sides for about 20 to 30 seconds. Flip it over. Apply a little bit of ghee onto the half-cooked side. You can even use oil if you don't have ghee. Flip it over. Apply some ghee on the other side as well. Flip it over. I'm going to remove this in a plate and make the remaining ones.